Hello everyone, welcome to Somehow I Design. This is Yunus and today we will be modeling this beautiful chair over here. And don't forget to download the reference file that I prepared for you guys in the description below. And without further ado, let's dive in. Well, let's set up our user interface first. I have brought back the initial preference set of Alias as default preference set. So I'm gonna make some small adjustments. Yeah, this is and to be honest, this isn't what I used to, guys, but yeah, no worries, we will find our way. Let's change the transparency of canvases here first, and let's, by holding down shift key, drag this palette to the left side of the screen, and let's change the view mode over here. Yeah, this is much better. Most of the tabs are already opened. In case we can close by clicking on top of them, of course, unless we need them. So yeah, first thing first, where is my object lister? There we go. Let's drag this to the left side so that we can see which layer we are working on. This is our layers, and this is the initial setup that I prepared for you guys. So in order to work on the selected layer, you gotta click on it first, and this is our, let's say, study. Yeah, let's begin with, I guess, rotating the screen first. If you are coming from the beginner series of mine, you know most of the stuff, but just to be clear, we can repeat them. Shift and Alt key and left mouse button rotates the screen, middle mouse button pans, and right mouse button zoom in and zoom out. This is how we are finding ourselves through the empty space. Yeah, so on the right top of the screen we have our view cube. We have these orthographic views: front view, top view, and right view, bottom. I guess you understand what I mean. And I'm not going to touch most of the things here. Let's make them stay as default. Yeah, we have this beautifully designed chair, and we are gonna try to model that one. Let's begin with the orthographic blueprint images first. How should we begin? I don't know. Let's look to the canvases first. It's like these legs are cylinders, yeah, as far as I see. Yeah, this part kinda bends. Yeah, let's begin. I decrease the transparency over here. First thing first, guys, I am used to my pref set. I might I might be failing trying to find the tools on the default palette here, but no worries, we gonna be really loose with it. Under the curves tab we have key point curve toolbox. If you click on it, there is this shelf pops up, so we can create simple lines and rectangles and circles and so on. And if we go on top here under the window menu, there is information window. So we might use this for the dimensions, for the measurement modeling, but just in case, I'm gonna close that up. If we need it, we will bring back. Yeah, let's draw a line first. Can I see the grid? No. Under the show options here, if we click grid, now we kind of begin to see the grid of our space. And yeah, let's check the preferences, construction options, and this is user defined. Normally I use CATIA V5, or we can lose with it and use CATIA V4. There are different tolerances between CATIA V4 and CATIA V5. Let's say there is maximum gap G0 is 0.01 and V5 is 0.00. So it is tight. It's like it is for more advanced modeling stuff. But let's leave that as CATIA V5, and yeah, no worries at all. Okay, let's go to left view and draw a line. Yeah, I will be tracing over the blueprint here. Let me talk about the object lister first. On the left side we have our object lister, and there is a layer pick state. These ladders indicates the pick state. If it's R or I, we cannot select the index of the layer. But if it's P, I guess it was short for pickable or something like that. These are normal curves, by the way, just the curves. But leave that as reference, or states for the reference, and we're gonna trace over it. So let's select our line first, hit somewhere on the space and hit there. So if I hit on my left mouse button, or I can place this as I want it to be placed. I deleted that. If I use right mouse button, this is going to be on the Z axis. Left mouse button indicates the axis of X, middle mouse button is Y, and right mouse button is Z in our 3D space. Since I am looking orthographically from the left view, X axis is turning like a general positioning. It's not working on the X axis. It works as freely. I mean, I can do whatever I want because I'm looking at the orthographic view. Yes, let me delete that one as well. So we have our marking menus. If you hold Shift and Control key and the left mouse button, I'm holding it, there are some of the tools over here, pretty much pick tools as default. If I hold Shift and Control, I keep holding, and middle mouse button, these are the translate tools, move, rotate, scale, and so on. These are totally editable, by the way. And the right mouse button, there are some more tools as well. So these guys are totally different than I used to. So that's why I'm just sometimes confusing myself. Yeah, whatever, let's go on. I picked a line and click here, and by holding down Z axis, it's pretty much here. Yes, and I'm gonna create one more line. I am holding down Control key and left click. It makes the snapping onto that key point, and then middle mouse button. So I am positioning on the X-axis. So I need this extended on the other side as well. But rather than that, how can we proceed? Yeah, we can change the pivot point of it by coming here, this tool, set pivot. I am holding Ctrl and left click. Since there is a key point over here, it snaps there, and I'm holding Ctrl and Shift, middle mouse button, move tool here, I'm selecting it, and I hold Alt key and Alt Control key and left click to make that pivot snap in the end of the curve. So I use Shift and Control key and scale on the y-axis to capture more or less the width of the leg. Yeah, is it clear so far? I pick curves, Shift and Control. I pick these two, and I go for the top view, and I say move, Shift and Control key, move on the y-axis. I am right now right clicking on it because we are on the top view. Z-axis doesn't work. Pretty much like this, more or less. So I'm seeing something here and not, so that means this is more or less rotated from the front view. It could be. Let's go to front view, and you see this is this leans to the left a little bit. So let's make it like, let's use rotate tool. Where is it? It's there. Since our pivot point is here, it's going to be rotating from bottom of the curve. If I use my left mouse button, you see it's just from bottom to the top, it rotates, and I will move a little bit to the left. Yes. So if you toggle this icon here, this is a layer symmetry. So whatever I have on this side of the space, Z and X, it'll be reflected on here. So let's create our first surface. So I need to create a cylinder here. Let's add a circle by holding down Control key and left click, and left click once again. So we have inserted a circle according to that corner, and I am picking this curve and this curve, and I use Ctrl C, Ctrl V, copy it and paste it and move it, Ctrl and left click to snap on that key point. So we have two circles, and we are going to be using skin tool between. If we double click on it, the options pop up, and select the first curve and the other one. Now let's make a shade here, multicolor shader. Now we have our cylinder. There are a bunch of options here, but for now this works for us. Let's go to top view and make it shade off. Yeah, more or less we are there, right? No big deal. Maybe we can, if we pick curves, this one and this one, scale them down by holding left click, and move a little to the right. And I'm just gonna be moving this curve. I picked the curve and moving it. Yeah, the thing is, since we used these two curves to create our surface between, this surface follows along whatever we do with these circles. You know, if I move it, it just follows because there is a history working behind. So that is why whatever I do, unless I deleted history by selecting surface here and going up, delete and delete construction history, it kinda continues to follow what I do with those curves. Yeah, that's one thing. And we're gonna copy our cylinders to the for the other legs. Let's pick surface, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, copy and paste it, move, Ctrl Shift and middle mouse button, selecting move, slightly hovering on it and leaving it on the x-axis by middle mouse button since I am using orthographic view. Yeah, and my pivot point is here. So I wanna move my pivot point to the center of this surface. How can I do is simply either, let me just see if the preference settings already set up that. Set pivot tool under the transform menu, I hit it. Control and Alt, left click, it just snaps according to curve, on the curve, but I cannot find the center. So leave it there. The other way is snap a line, Control Alt and left click. Yeah. Okay. The thing is, what we're gonna do is come up here. Which one was that? This one. Curve snap options. Snap division 1 says if this is 1 in your settings, there will be just one snapping point here. But if you say 2 and options snap to center is on, pivot is on, projected intersection is on, or we can make it 3 or 4, however you like. So this thanks to that, I am snapping Ctrl and Alt left click. You see 1, 2, 3 and the 4 point. So if I select one and the other one and then pick my surface, set pivot onto that, so we have found our center of the circle. Now we don't need that curve anymore. I do pick nothing and then pick curves, select the curve, delete it, enter. And now our pivot point is here. Let's continue. Okay, I go to the left view. I need to actually extend this a little. In order to do that, I use scale and right click. In this way, since I'm looking at it on the left view orthographically, it scales on the z-axis. And because the pivot point is in the bottom of the surface, only one direction it scales. If we use here, hold on and wait, this one center pivot, so this will be move our pivots in the center of the surface. And if I scale now on the z-axis, both sides are scaling. Yeah, so this is why Okay, Control Z doesn't work. I redo what I've done here. Pick surface. Set pivot. This one. And I don't need this curve anymore. Yeah, let's go to the left view. Pick surface. And scale. I'm just gonna be scaling a little bit and then rotate on the by using middle mouse button. Yeah, don't mind you don't need to worry about the ground. In the end, we gonna use simple plane surface and intersect with our surfaces and trim that out, so it's not big issue. Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. Or I'm just gonna scale a little bit more and then rotate. I'm using middle mouse button. Shade it. Shade again. And let's look at the top view. Yes, we are a little bit on the right side. Let's come here. Let's go there. Yes, pretty much works. Yeah, another thing is it kind of continues on top. Maybe we can apply that as well. You already know that Control Alt and left click snaps around the curve, and I picked Control and left click in the middle key point and then roughly place it here. Roughly placed it here. Or let me see. There is extend tool here under the object edit menu. So we have our object and we should edit it. And let's double click on it. Yeah, merge is checked. This is important. Let's say go. If I click this edge and then move slightly, yeah, you see it kind of extends through. And another thing is we should move these curves. I'm setting pivots. I selected both curves. I set pivot on that point. Move there so that I don't need to do the same things anymore. Yes. Now we have actually. I pick this curve. Center this pivot again. And rotate a little bit. Scale a little. I'm just roughly placing it. Okay. I need to create a line between there and there. Pick this curve. Set pivot in the middle. Move on top. Go to the left view and rotate it as such and scale it a little because it's narrowing while going on top. Yeah, let's consider this is more or less fine, or let's change it. We can change that a little. Set pivot here. Because it kind of leans, or we can use extend as well. If I hit extend and one edge, I can change it all the time, and the other. Yeah, so what you see here called key points. Let me just open it up from there. These blue points called key points. And there is another points which is CVs. You're gonna use these a lot. We can select these and move as well. We can use all the translate tools as well with that, but yeah, no worries at all for now. So I'm gonna control these for the front view. I guess more or less this is right. Let's create surface first. Center first. Let's move this a little. We can change that all the time, no worries. Rotate. I don't think we have these curves anyway, so let's delete them. Come here for the skin tool. Where was it? Select the edge of the surface and the curve, and then we have our surface between. So let's change that angle a little bit. And the thing is, this is big surface. Let's move this to the left a little. And rotate a little, such. And move this curve, pick this curve and move it. I guess we're gonna need to scale that one. I'm just gonna put set pivot on the right and scale so that it only scales on the left side. Yeah, pretty much. Yes, we pretty much created our legs. Not bad at all. Let me check canvases again. So we have these guys. We've got some rectangle here. Let's add that. I'd go for the front view. If I click here, it closes that layer. So yeah, let's go on, which is this one, I guess. Shade off. So I'm gonna create a rectangle. This one. Pick nothing. Nothing. Alt and left click. Yeah, and I'm gonna move a little because is it this curve or this curve? I guess this curve. Yeah. Set pivot. Since I'm using symmetrically, modeling symmetrically, I should set this pivot in the middle. Left click and control key, and shift control, middle mouse button, scale. I'm just scaling on the Z axis by using right mouse button. Okay. Let's go to top view and where we are. So yeah, this is nice. In case we lost in the space, you just need to hit Alt and L and it brings us back from selected component or the overall object we have. Let's go to the front from top view. Move this one here. Let's scale on the y-axis a little because I need these to be intersected. And Ctrl C, Ctrl V, move this rectangle here as well. So we have more or less, let's shade that up. Yeah, nice. So what I'm gonna do is let's pick these two rectangles and come here, display, hide unselected. That makes the other components gone and the only selected items left, so that I can see in a clear way. Let's create a square first, which is under the surface tab here, square tool. Let's double click that one. Yeah, we have several options here. Leave as it is. Only know that you gotta select 4 curves that are touching each other, which means our right now Alias reads our rectangle as one curve, so we need to detach this one for 4 curves. I'm gonna use pick nothing, object edit. Here under the object edit menu there is a detach tool. If I hold and wait, Ctrl Alt and left click, so it kind of shows these pinky cross sections here, and hit space once again, hit space once again, hit space, and once again hit space. Now we have 4 different curves rather than complete rectangle, because we needed that to use square tool. Okay, let's select the first, second, third, and the 4th edge. So this gives us a surface according to our curves, and those curves need to be exactly touching each other. If they are not touching each other, you cannot obtain a curve. So there are continuity options here. First is free. We need that to be implied tangent because this is a symmetric plane. Implied tangent assures that this surface is symmetric. And the other one can be remain as free or G0 position, which means pretty much the same as free, or like they are positionally at the same spot as the curves are. And we can use explicit control here to decide how much. Let's open up the CVs here on this side, how much CV rows and columns that we need. In this case, since this is a straight plane, there is no angle, there is no any detail. Since this is a straight, we can lower these down, because if we don't need CVs, it is better to not add and eliminate them. So 1 and 1 is good to have while you are creating simply planes. So say next, and I am picking this surface, set pivot to that here, and copying pasting it and moving to there. So we don't need to create another square, we just already have. So let's hide unselect again, display hide unselected, so that we have only the surfaces. Remember skin tool, we're gonna use that one again. Come here under the surface, skin tool, select one and the other, hit next. Connect ends can be selected at the moment, no worries. Hit next, hit next. So these green P means these are positional, which means G0, which means both corner are exactly touching each other. They are on top of each other. And we have our material at the moment. Let's come here and make it display, make it visible. We have one more of that in here, I guess. Let me just open the canvas. Yeah. Oh, this is cylinder as well. Okay. Okay, cool. We can copy this object as the other one. But these are straight. Yeah. Let me check. Let's close the canvases. Yeah, it's just rotated slightly. We can... okay. Well. Let's move these surfaces. Oops, undo. Pick surface. This one. This one. This one. And this one. And I'm gonna make delete construction history because I don't need it, and delete locators here so that nothing confuses us. So you see it's not on the center. I'm just gonna roughly move this one to make it center, yeah, more or less, as long as it's visually correct, doesn't matter. So we don't need these rectangle curves anymore. We can delete them to make the scene clean as possible. Let's shade it again. Yeah, more or less. I am gonna hide by selecting invisible. Selected object will be hidden. I pick the surface and I hit Ctrl G to group them out. Right now I can use pick object tool to select them all. Let's bring back the other one. Let's make it visible. I don't know, I am not satisfied with it. Yeah. Nice. Okay, let's pick this one and center pivot, copy and paste, rotate on the z-axis, or you can type in R, which means the rotation will be considered on the pivot. If you hit ABS here, it is for absolute, which means it is going to be considering the origin of the grid. But we don't need that. We need relative. Hit R and enter. You see relative. Right now I am gonna use 0, 0, X and 90. And this emphasizes X, Y and Z rotation. So I have rotated on the Z axis. I go to the left view. I'm just gonna scale. Scale. No, why I cannot scale? I don't know. Let's make it center. Okay. I only need to be extended. Yeah, okay. We do manually and move, scale and rotate. Move a little. roughly placed this. Let's go to top view. I don't know why this scale doesn't work as I want it to be. Yes. Okay. How are we gonna place this? Set pivot there, rotate z-axis. It's supposed to be like this, right? Let's open up the canvases. Ah, no, it is directly going to the previous one. You see, it's going to meet with that one. Yeah, okay. This is behind, and yeah, good. Let's go to the other view. Yeah, we can leave this as it is and continue our pick object and hide this one. Well, thank you for watching until here, guys. This will be the end of the part 1, and don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and comment your thoughts below, and ask me anything. If you can't manage or if you didn't understand anything, please let me know, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.